Well, hello, good morning. Assembly is just running a little bit behind schedule, as it always is. Usually I've got a team of about 700 children and 80 members of staff working with me, but I'm running around trying to print certificates and all sorts of stuff, so I'm nearly there. I hope you're doing okay. Make a cup of tea quickly, and we'll be with you live in just a few moments. Stay tuned, because we've got some certificates to give out, and it's great to see you all. Hope you're all doing okay. I'll be with you shortly. Just give me 2 more minutes. Okay, well, good morning. I think we're just about there. I think we're just about ready to go. And I'm grateful to Mr. Thane has been helping me out, the caretaker at the moment. And it feels really strange being here with no children doing assembly. So we've just brought these two little children to just come and sit. I'm going to sit them. I think you can just about see them if I sit them up like this. They're just a little bit floppy and sleepy, but we'll put them there anyway, just to join us for assembly, so at least it gives you a little bit of company as we go through the morning. I hope you're all doing really, really well. Slightly strange times that we're in at the moment, I know, and it's taking a bit of getting used to. This is certainly taking getting used to. The corridors in the school are eerily quiet. We've had a few classrooms down in the bottom end of the school where we've been working hard supporting the children who have parents who are doctors and nurses and other key workers, helping us all in the situation that we're in. But other than that, we've had some cleaners in, we've got the caretaker in, opening the building for us every day. But it's really strange being here without children passing me in the corridor saying hello and staff, or it's usually a real atmosphere of a buzz going around the place. But it's really, really quiet at the moment. I'm missing you all tremendously. I thought it would be good, just because routine is a good thing, it would be good for us to carry on going with Star Pupil Assemblies throughout this time. And so what I did last night, I emailed all of the teachers and I said, you've all been interacting with the children. They've made some phone calls to some of you, and they're working their way through the list to speak to everybody, just to see how you are and how you're getting on, if there's anything we can do to help. And I thought it would be really good. I sent a message to them saying, in amongst all the things that you've been doing and interactions you've had with the children, pick me a star pupil from your class who I can present a certificate to tomorrow virtually. Now, we will get these certificates to you somehow. I haven't quite figured out yet how, but we will get them to you. And we wanted to do this just so you can see us here and also give out the certificates. Now, I haven't quite managed to write the names on the certificates yet, so I'll be handing blank certificates to my two children down here. The good thing is, they're not talking as I'm doing assembly, which is great, because usually by now I've spotted one of you talking in the hall as I'm speaking. I'm just kidding, they're usually very, very good children. And so we're going to go through these certificates, we'll give them out, and I'll just have to be the only person doing a round of applause today. Usually we all clap and cheer, but I'll be clapping and cheering for you today. And you clap and cheer at home as people come on as well. And hey, what I'd love to see as we go through, I can see at the moment there are 224 children tuned into this. What I would love is if you could send us a picture of you watching us and email it to office@stjuliansprimary.com because we'd love to make a display when all this is over of all the things that were going on still, just to be happy and keep our spirits high. So, before we get on to the star pupils, I wanted to just say a few things. So I'm going to start actually by saying some thank yous. So we've got some thank yous to say. I'll just tap over so you can see. If I tap like that, you'll have to bear with me. I've usually got a great team of digital leaders helping me as I do this sort of thing, working on all the live streaming at the back, and I'm trying to juggle everything as we go through the morning. But I want to say some thank yous. The first group of people I want to say thank yous to are all of those key workers, those NHS staff. You may have gone out, you may have clapped in your doorway for them as they work really, really hard to protect us and to look after us and to care for us at this time. So if you're an NHS member of staff or you're a key worker who is still working to help people through this time, then thank you ever so much from all of us here at St. Julian's. Thank you. I want to say thank you to the teachers because in amongst all of this, the teachers, we closed the school the week before last, and at the end of that week we turned the school into a childcare centre for the children of key workers and people who still need to go to work and need their children looked after. In amongst all that, we've been still providing home learning materials. We managed to get Chromebooks sent out to people who were struggling to access things online. We managed to get parcels and packages and things sent out to people with homework and things if families wanted that to work through at home as well. And we've also been organising those children who have free school meals and organising that with the cluster of schools. In amongst that list of thank yous, I want to thank the other schools in our cluster, St. Julian's High School and Glannis Primary School and Fair Oak Nursery. nursery, we've been working really closely together to look after all of the children of St. Julians, and it's just been great working with them. And one of the things about this time is you will have seen people just pulling together and working together, more so than ever before, and that's just really great. The other people I want to thank are, of course, the parents and the children. I've loved seeing the work coming in. The teachers have loved seeing the work coming in from parents. And we've also received some lovely messages and thanks and things from parents in our school community. So thank you all so much for your support at this time and for staying positive with us. I received one parcel on the last day of that the school was open, and it was a bag all sellotaped up, and it said in there, Head Teacher's Isolation Kit. And there was some lovely coffee and biscuits, and so I might be looking a little bit more chubby since you last saw me, but I've been working my way through some chocolates and biscuits and my pot of coffee as well. So I'm ever so grateful to all of you parents for your kind messages that you've been sending to the school. And I've said, thank you to the staff who have just been superb. Every member of our staff is just sending me messages. What do you want us to do to help you? Put us where you want us to. We'll do whatever it takes to do whatever we can to help others as a school. And so I'm so grateful to everybody, every one of you who has been helping out. So that's the thank yous done. There are also some birthdays. Now I've just had a little look through our registers, and if I miss anyone out, I'm really sorry. I just wanted to say thank you to all of these children who have let us know that it's their birthdays. But we've had a few people emailing, but we wanted to say a huge happy birthday to these people. Now, we usually sing a song in assembly, and we're going to sing together now. I've got the piano turned on and ready. I haven't played for a while. My fingers are a little bit rusty. But happy birthday, Leo. Leo in Miss Sefton and Miss Sears class, happy birthday to you. Malik in Mrs. Campbell's class, happy birthday to you. Miley in Mr. Frost class, Blake in nursery, and Lottie in nursery as well. Imogen, happy birthday to you in Miss Ver's class. Hannah in Miss Hart's class. Riley in nursery as well, and Theo in nursery. You've all had a birthday this week. And I just wanted to say a very happy birthday. We're going to sing to you now, and you'll have to excuse my voice as I come over here, because I'm the only person singing. Usually you all sound great, but we'll go together. Sorry, let me get tuned up here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Leo, Malik, Miley, Blake, Lottie, Imogen, Hannah, and Riley, and Theo. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope in these strange circumstances you've still managed to have a great day with your families. There are 3 people in the school who have a birthday today. And that's really exciting, and we wanted to celebrate with you. So I've got some special guests who I'm going to be telephoning now to join us as part of the assembly. And I'm going to start with this phone call here. Now, you'll have to bear with me as we get this technology working, but I'm going to just get hold of somebody here, and we'll see if we can speak to them. Let's see if we can do this now. Bear with me. I'm going to try and put them on the screen so you can see them too. Okay, here we go. Taking a bit of time to answer. We might have to go to our next one. Let's see if we can go to our next one. Bear with me. We'll get there. We'll get there. Miss Vers, how are you?
Hello, Mr. Mansfield, how are you?
I'm doing very well. I can see you're out and about getting your one piece of exercise for the day.
I am, yes, I am. Are we live on Assembly now?
We are live on Assembly. You are speaking to the nation, Miss Vers. I'm going to turn you up. I hope they can hear you. Are you doing anything special on your morning exercise walk?
I am. I have arrived at a very special lady's house this morning to wish her a very happy birthday. Would you like to see my special guest?
We would love to see your special guest. And I can see you wearing those gloves there. That's good as well, Miss Burns.
Yes.
Protection. And make sure you're staying 2 meters apart.
I am. We are nearly 3 meters, I think.
Good.
Hang on a minute. So here is Ava Pierce.
Ava! Happy birthday, Ava! Are you okay, Ava? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
I hope you're doing okay.
Thank you. I'm doing
Stay
great.
safe, take care, enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you, Miss Burns. That was wonderful. Happy birthday, Ava. That was great. Okay, I'm going to come across to now our next special guest, which is, let's go again for this one and see if we can get this one going. Oh. Bear with me, just as we get the technology. As I say, I've usually got a whole host of children helping me behind the scenes with all this technical stuff, but we'll see if we can get it done. Let's see who we've got as special guest number 2 as they arrive on the screen. It's Miss Campbell. Say hello, Miss Campbell. You are live on air. Now, Miss Campbell, you're also on your morning walk, getting your exercise. Have you got a special guest there?
I have got a special guest. I'm here to wish him a very happy 10th birthday this morning.
Happy 10th birthday. Let's see where we are. Who's it going to be? A little knock at the door. Remember to keep that 2 meters distance, Miss Campbell.
I'm back. Oh, someone's coming.
Somebody's coming.
Happy birthday, Lindsay!
It's Lindsay in year 5, and she's got a big birthday badge on there as well. Lindsay, a very happy birthday to you.
Do you want to give them a big wave?
Lindsay, we've delivered a little chocolate Easter egg for you. Do you like chocolate?
Do you like chocolate, Lindsay? Yeah. She says yes.
Good. I hope you're doing
Very
okay,
happy.
Lindsay. We miss you very much. We hope you're having a lovely, wonderful day.
Thank you. Give everybody a wave, Lindsay.
Bye now.
Bye.
Thank you, Miss Campbell.
No problem. Bye.
Okay, so that's Miss Campbell. There's one more who we're going to try to see if we can get hold of. And let's just see who our next special guest is. Here we are. Just waiting for them. Who have we got here? It's the wonderful Mrs. Addis. Mrs. Addis, how are you?
I'm fine. Hello, everyone.
Now, are you out on your morning exercise?
I am.
And I hope you're social distancing and keeping your distance from everyone. And I can see you've got your gloves on.
I have.
Good. Have you got a special visit to make on your morning walk this morning?
I do.
And where are you? Let's see who is going to arrive at this door. Let's see who we got. It's Tori, and it's Darcy, her sister, and Mum as well. Hi! Happy birthday to you, Tori. We hope you're having a lovely day. I can hear myself talking in the background on the television, which is very strange.
What did she say?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We hope you're having a lovely day. We miss you. Enjoy that lovely chocolate Easter egg.
Take it away.
Take care. Thank you, Mrs. Addis.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Happy birthday. Oh, isn't that wonderful to be able to wish happy birthday to those children? It's lovely to see them still smiling even in amongst all this. I did say to some staff that we'd ring them to see how they were getting on. One person very keen to join us in assembly this morning was our very own Mr. Frost. And I thought it would be great. Let's just see how Mr. Frost is doing on this frosty morning. Let's see where we are. See if the technology will work one last time. I hope you can hear them okay. It's slightly difficult putting them next to the microphone, but I hope that they're coming through okay.
Bore Mr. Mansfield.
Mr. Frost, Borodar, good morning to you. How are you?
Good, thank you. All good here.
How is the isolation going?
Yeah, not so bad at all. Going out for a walk every day and exercising and staying safe. I hope everyone is at home too.
Good. And what have you been doing to keep busy in the house, Mr. Frost? What sort of activities have you been doing?
Well, I've actually got my hands on a keyboard, Mr. Mansfield. I'm going to try and learn a new skill. And hopefully I'll be able to help you out in assembly then and have a little go on the keyboard by the time we're back. Who knows?
That sounds absolutely wonderful, Mr. Frost. And maybe at the end of this this situation, you can play for everyone live on their television screens. Are you learning any songs in particular?
No, not yet, but I think I might start with Happy Birthday if we have a few more birthdays.
Oh, good choice. And of course, there are some children in the school who are exceptional at playing the piano, so maybe they can help you when we return back as well. That would be wonderful. What sort of things are you eating and doing to keep healthy, Mr. Frost, in amongst all this?
Well, I'm going for a run each day, if not a walk. Doing some of the home workouts as well, as best I can. Trying to eat as healthy as possible, but a few biscuits with my coffee in the morning I seem to be having just to keep me going as I'm looking at all this fantastic home learning that we're getting in.
Good, wonderful. And have you had much home learning back? What have people been sending in to you?
Yeah, we've had some good home learning sent in year 6, and I know lots of children are doing it at home as well with their paper packs. We posted an assignment for children to share their talents. And that's been really lovely to see. We've had footballers sending in videos and singing and baking pictures as well. So that's been really lovely to see. And it's been cheering all of our year 6 teachers up as well as we've been working through the day.
Good, wonderful. And have you got finally one cheerful message for all of the people watching that are usually in school, usually joining us here at Star Pupil Assembly on a Friday? What can you say to them to keep them nice and happy at this difficult time?
Just keep smiling, everyone, at St. Julian's. Spend time with your family and FaceTime with your friends. Have fun. Try and do something new. Keep your spirits up. Sing, dance, be silly while you're at home. And we'll all be back together very soon, I'm sure.
Thank you, Mr. Frost. Lovely to talk to you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're keeping safe. And we'll be in touch soon. Thanks, Mr. Frost.
You.
Bye now. Hoyle Vowed. Good. Okay, there's Mr. Frost just before. Now, I did have some other special visitors lined up, but we'll get the certificates done first, and then perhaps we'll see if we can come back to them later. I'm just going to flip back across to the laptop here so we can be back on screen with everyone. I hope you can just about see the screen. It's really difficult because it's so... I might just turn... Perhaps, if it gets too difficult to see the screen, we'll turn one of the lights off. We don't need the screen for this bit because it's now time for the Star Pupils. And I've got my list here from all the teachers who have sent in their reasons as to why you deserve Star Pupil. And I'm going to start with the wonderful nursery. And we've got some nice things from nursery to say. Let me see what Mrs. Goff has written. Mrs. Goff has written that her 2 stars from nursery, morning and afternoon nursery, are Noah and Lucy. Noah, you've got Star Pupil for painting such a beautiful rainbow that Miss Goff has seen. And she said, your rainbow really made me smile and you looked so happy with your picture too. So I'm assuming you've sent a lovely picture of your rainbow to Miss Goff and she's enjoyed seeing that. Lucy, Miss Goff has said that you've also made a mixed media rainbow using paint and Lego. So lots of different things in your rainbow. And she said your rainbow was so cheerful, it made me so proud. I liked the way you used the Lego to make a house for your picture. It was really clever. So, Lucy and Noah, I'm just going to give these 2 certificates to these 2 children down here. And we're going to say, very well done, and a big clap to you. I hope everybody else is clapping at home as well. Okay, in class 1, I've been in touch with Miss Rawlings, and Miss Rawlings said that Megan, in her class, should have the Star Pupil Achievement Certificate this week, because, Megan, you've done some fantastic home learning, especially facts about elephants. And that's a great thing to be researching at the moment. Well done, Megan. Miss Rawlings says, you have been working hard at home doing some amazing work. I am very, very impressed. And so, Megan, Diane, there's a certificate there for you. The next person is Miss Welsh's class. And in Miss Welsh's class, Miss Welsh has chosen Amelia. And Amelia, it says, you've been working hard at home and sending Miss Welsh an excellent email. You wrote Miss Welsh an email, I understand, and she said it was wonderful to read. She says, thank you, Amelia, for the email. It was lovely to hear from you and great that you have been practicing your writing and typing skills. So I'm going to put that certificate down there. We'll make sure these certificates get to you. And if you're not sure whether these people are watching, mums, maybe you know their mums and text them to tell them that they've got Star Pupil if they aren't already watching. Now up to class 3 in Miss Bainan's class, and she has chosen the brilliant Alfie. And what she said, Alfie, is that you're getting your Star Pupil certificate today for fantastic home learning, especially your penguin fact poster. And I'd love to have a look at that and learn something about penguins at the moment. And what she has written is, Diane Alfie, it's lovely to see that you are having fun whilst doing some super learning at home with your family. So a certificate there for Alfie. Diane Alfie. Next up, it's Dosbarth Pedwar, Miss Hill's class, and she has chosen the wonderful Olivia. And let's just have a look. And it says, working hard on home learning pack and helping mum around the house to prepare for the arrival of your baby sister in 2 weeks, which is lovely. So well done, Olivia. There's a certificate, and Mrs. Hill has said, well done. Keep up the hard work. You are going to make a brilliant big sister. Well done, Diane, to Olivia. The next person is in class 5, Dosbarth Pimp. And let's just see who we've got in Dosbarth Pimp. It is the brilliant Charlotte. And it says, excellent home learning and super science at home. It says, thank you for all of your photos. It's been lovely to see you working hard, but also having fun with your family. And that's really important at the moment. So Diane, Charlotte, there's a great certificate for you that we'll send on its way to you. The next class, Dosbarth Quair, Dosbarth 6. Let's see who Miss Butcher has chosen. She has chosen, if I can grab a certificate, she has chosen the super duper Erin. And Erin, you have got a certificate for fantastic home learning, especially your sock puppets. And Miss Butcher has written, Diane, Erin, you have been so busy and I love seeing all of the things that you have been up to every day. You have been getting creative, you've been baking cakes. I wish you had saved me one, she says, and learning all of your spellings. Keep up the excellent work. So Diane, well done, that's really wonderful. Erin in Miss Butcher's class, super duper, good girl, you're a star. Dosbarth South, Dosbarth 7, class 7, is Mrs. Hando and Mrs. Tucker, and they have said that their star pupil is Millie. And Millie, it says you've been getting creative at home, making elephants out of recycled milk bottles and working hard to write instructions on how to make them. They said it was lovely to hear all the lovely things you've been doing, particularly in the garden. Good, and remember to get outside where you can. That's great. And they said keep up the awesome work. So Diane, Millie, well done. There's a star pupil for you. I forgot to clap in between each of these, so I hope you're still clapping at home as I try to make my way through. The next one is class 8, Miss Jones's class, Dosbarth Oith. And let's just have a look. And we have, who do we have in Dosbarth Oith? We have got Lily. Lily, Miss Jones has chosen you, and I know we've seen some of you this week because your parents are working hard in their ambulances. And Lily she's produced some excellent work both at home and in school, and it's been so lovely to hear how happy, funny and clever you have been in school over the past few weeks. I'm so proud of you. I have also loved seeing some super home learning you've been doing through Dojo and Seesaw. Well done, Lily. Keep it up. Excellent. Diane, let's give Lily her certificate there and we'll make sure she gets that. Now on to the final foundation phase class, which is Dosbarth Miss Rounds, class 9. And Miss Rounds has chosen Bailey. Diane Bailey in Miss Rounds' class, you have won the star pupil of this week. Miss Rounds says super home learning, especially your letters to your friends. And it says, Diane Bailey, I have loved receiving the photos of all the fantastic things you've been doing every day. I'm so proud of all of your hard work. Keep sending the work through Dojo. Keep up your hard work. And there's a certificate for you there. That's wonderful. Next up, we have got class Mrs. Evans' class, and she has chosen the brilliant Amelia. And Amelia, you've got this for enthusiastic home learning, and it's great to see that enthusiasm. Mrs. Evans says, it's lovely to see that Amelia has taken to her home learning in such a great way. She has even added assignments of her own. Keep up the great work. So well done, Amelia. Good to see that you're still doing lots of learning at home. In Mrs. Watkins and Mrs. Mackenzie's class, let's see who we've got here. We have got the brilliant Dylan. And Dylan, you are getting this certificate here for excellent home learning, smoothie making, and bringing the zoo to you. I don't know how many of you tuned in to the live zoo show that was on from Chester Zoo, but I know that some classes are still learning about the zoo as well. And so that's great, and well done, Dylan, for your work there. It says from Mrs. Watkins and Mrs. Mackenzie, we love seeing the pictures of you making fruit smoothies, and thank you for sharing the new book app you have discovered. We are going to take a look at that one. 3D animation, here we come, and Diane Dylan. I'm just going to make sure it hasn't interrupted the live stream. I hope it didn't interrupt. I've been getting some phone calls through to my phones, and my phones are linked to my iPad, which is streaming this assembly. So hopefully we won't get disturbed again, because every time somebody rings, it interrupts the live stream. Okay, next we've got, who have we got next? We've got Miss Hodges' class, and she has chosen Harlan. Harlan, it says you have been working hard, it says, working hard on home learning activities and sharing pictures of what he has been doing. Diane Harlan, great. I'll see what Miss Hodges has written here. It says, I'm particularly enjoying the regular updates that begin with the day in quarantine. They have really made me laugh. You and so many others have been working really hard and made me very proud. Keep up the hard work. Diane Harlan. And let's see who's next. We have got Miss Daly and Mrs. Hale Price's class, and it's Alex. Alex, you've been working hard on your home learning activities and sharing pictures of what you've been doing at home. They say they're particularly enjoying the regular updates that begin with, no, sorry, that was the wrong one. This is tricky because a few children have been working hard and enthusiastically, it says, but you, Alex, have been absolutely superb. They also say a special mention to Riley, Heilwen, Oliver, Seb, Joshua. You're all stars because you've all been sending in things and showing them how brilliant you are. So Diane, well done there. Let's just move on to the next class, which is Miss Shepherd's class. And I'm just going to see who we've got here. It is the brilliant Harley. Harley in Miss Shepherd's class. You've got this certificate here, and Miss Shepherd says you've been working hard on Google Classroom, you've been completing home learning activities and sending in pictures of things that you've been doing at home as well. It says, well done, Harley, super effort with the home learning activities, and I've really enjoyed seeing pictures of some of the other activities you've been doing, like Welsh cake baking and drawing rainbows outside. So that sounds great. Harley, there's a certificate there for you. Let me just have a look who the next person on our list is. It's Miss Ver's class. My certificates have fallen on the floor, so I'm just going to bring this chair over, I think, so I can rest my certificates down. It says that you, Darcy, in Miss Ver's class, have been working hard on Google Classroom during the first week of quarantine. Great job, Darcy. Keep up the good work, and there's a certificate for you. Now we've got Mrs. Hard's class, and in Mrs. Hard's class, Mrs. Hard's star pupil is the brilliant Caitlin. It says, Caitlin, you've been trying so hard with home learning and getting involved with activities posted on Dojo as often as you possibly can. Caitlin, you are doing a fantastic job with home learning. We don't know how long this may go on for, but keep up the brilliant work, as it will certainly pay off. Keep being awesome. And I'm just going to put that down there. Let's see who else we've got in Mr. Milner's class. Well, Mr. Frost, I said to you earlier that some children could help you with your piano playing, and this is a person who may be able to help. It's the brilliant Joe in Mr. Milner's class. Joe is a great pianist, but it says from Mr. Milner, you've handed in so much work on Google Classroom for week 1 and 2. You've also been creating a great homework video with your own script as well. Well done. And Mr. Milner says, awesome work, Joe. Keep up the awesome effort. So I'm going to put that down there for you, Joe, and we'll get that to you. Miss Campbell's class, she has chosen the brilliant Kian. And it says, Kian, you've been working, it said, you've been so kind and thoughtful and writing a thank you letter to the NHS staff, as well as creating a beautiful rainbow. And Miss Campbell loves seeing that. It says also you've been writing your letter, which was such a kind and thoughtful thing, and I'm sure everybody who would have received it would have been so grateful. Your rainbow was beautiful too, and you must have put a lot of effort into it. Diane, and keep up the great work. Diane, Kian, that is brilliant, and we're into year 6 now, our last year group of certificates. Mr. Jones is first, and Mr. Jones, he has chosen Charlie. And Charlie, it says you've completed and handed in so much work from week 1 and 2 tasks that have been set on Google Classroom. Mr. Jones says, super work, Charlie. Diane, I'm going to put that certificate there. We'll get it to you somehow. Mr. Frost's class is next, and it's the wonderful Harry. And Harry, Mr. Frost has said, you've been sharing your wonderful singing talent as part of the home learning. Your singing cheered him up. Keep up the great work. Diane, Harry, awesome. You are a star. And the last, but by no means least, it's Mrs. Lewis and Miss Robinson's class. And they have said, they have chosen Bethan in the class, working so hard on Google Classroom. Your diary entry for the VE Day used some lovely ambitious vocabulary, and it was great to hear that Bethan has been, she set up a big desk in the house with her sister for all of the home learning that's going on. And Mrs. Robinson and Mrs. Lewis say, remember to take some time to relax as well as working so hard. Diane, can I just say, very well done to all of you, and if you weren't picked as star pupil this week, don't worry, because there are still some other weeks that we'll do this for, and you may get star pupil that week. Remember, don't work constantly all the time. We don't expect that as a school. It's really important to just readjust to this new way of working, and to have some structure to the day. Perhaps start with that Joe Wicks exercise routine that's been going on. I know Mr. Jones is doing an exercise shift at some point as well, a live exercise video that he'll be sending out to our children and families. But we're not expecting you to work constantly whilst you're at home. It's a different way of doing things. It takes some getting used to, and so we just want to support by providing activities and tasks. But work with your parents, certainly up to Easter now. And have a bit of a break through Easter, and then after Easter we'll begin setting home learning tasks again, and we'll be supporting you with doing those at home, and hopefully we'll have adjusted a little bit more when we get there. I've done our special visitors, and I've done the star pupils. Now usually when we are having assemblies, I like to tell a little story, and I've got a story that I've been thinking of telling, and I often tell stories in assemblies as we go through. We don't usually do it in the star pupil assembly, but I'm combining the assemblies from this week, and I'm going to tell a story. And my story today is about this guy, and this guy up here is called David, and I'll just zoom in so you can see David up there. And this is David, and this is his dad, and his dad's called Jesse. And Jesse says to David, David, we've got a big, huge problem. Your brothers are in a battle and they're fighting, and you need to go and you need to deliver their lunch to them. Now, we've been able this week to deliver some lunches to people, which has been great, and happy to help them. But David was asked to deliver the lunch to his brothers who were fighting on the front line. And when David said, yeah, no problem, I can go, I can take the lunch, and you can see the lunch in this little green bag down here, he picked up the bag and off he went to start delivering his lunch. You can see him walking on. I hope you can just about see the slides at home. David started walking on his way. Now, David had a job. He had a very special job, and his job was to be a shepherd. And he usually looked after the little fluffy lambs in the fields, and he protected them to look after them and keep them safe. And he watched over those little lambs in the fields and made sure they were protected. And should any lions come or anything, that the lambs would be really, really safe. And he was really good at being a shepherd. He was really, really good at his job. And so David, off he went to deliver the food to his brothers. He was the youngest in the family. He was the smallest And so he was just given this little job to take the lunch to his brothers who were out on the battlefield. When David arrived at the battlefield, he was greeted by not a very pretty sight. He was greeted by the king, and this is King Saul. And King Saul, you can see the face that he's got on him. King Saul was worried. And some of us are feeling worried at the moment, just like probably King Saul was feeling. But King Saul was stood there, and he had an army of people behind him. But the army were really, really scared. They were petrified. And they were stood, their knees were probably knocking, and they were getting so nervous. I did my knees knocking, but I realized you couldn't see my knees are knocking. They were so worried and so scared of what was stood in front of them. And David arrives on scene, and he sees in the distance this silhouette, this big, gigantic thing. And when I say gigantic, there was this big, gigantic, scary, mean soldier stood in the distance, holding a spear in the air and holding a shield in the air as well. And David looked across and he could see this big, gigantic soldier. And he realized why King Saul and all of the other people were so scared. And so David looked in the distance and he thought, whoa, he is tall, he is gigantic. And sometimes when I walk around the school, some of the littlest children in the school look up at me and they go, oh, Mr. Mansfield's gigantic. Now I am tall, I am 6'5", so I'm pretty tall. Let me tell you, this soldier here, his name was Goliath. And he wasn't 6 foot tall. He was even taller than Mr. Mansfield. He was about 10 foot tall. 10 feet tall. Now, if I'm 6'5" up here, I'm just going to jump up here. And this is about how tall Goliath would have been. And he was gigantic. And he was roaring at the people. He was roaring at King Saul and the Israelite army to scare them. And he was screaming and shouting and laughing because he was so fierce and so scary. And so David saw this Goliath, and you can see him there close up. And he was mean, he was scary, and he was nasty. And all of the army that were facing him were really, really scared and really nervous. And so David, you can see there some of the army, they're getting scared and nervous. They don't know what to do. They are really worried about the situation. So David says to King Saul, he says, I've brought lunch for my brothers. I've got them this little bag of lunch just to feed them. And I hope you're all doing okay. And King Saul says, oh, no, we're really, really scared. Look. And David said, yeah, he's a really, really tall giant, that man over there, isn't he? That soldier, he is so scary. And Saul said, oh, yes, he's so scary. We're all so worried about it. And David said, well, I've just brought this lunch to give to my brothers. And you can see there David and Saul looking on, and you can see the big, tall, scary Goliath in the distance with his spear and his shield. And David says, look, Saul, he's shouting. And Goliath was stood, and he was shouting and shouting. If I just get back up to my Goliath, like, come on then, you Israelites, I can take you on. Come and get me. I'm going to get you all. I'm big and I'm scary. And David and Saul started to have this conversation with each other. So David handed over the food for the brothers. And David said to him when he was handing over the food, he said, listen, King Saul, I could help you against that big scary thing. I could really help you. I'm only little. I'm the smallest in my family, but I can still help. And Saul said, oh, David, thank you so much. That's very kind of you, but you're a bit too young and a bit too small to help. And David said, no, please let me. I can help. I can really help. And David said, I'm a really good shepherd, and I can help. If I can look after my sheep, then I can look after your people and them as well. And so David said that he was willing to help. Now, in amongst all of this, the army that were fighting for King Saul, he even some of them were so scared that they ran away and hid. And David said, look, King Saul, even some of your army are running away. They're not staying to help you fight, so I can help. And King Saul said, well, David, if you're sure, then I guess you can help. How will you fight him? And so King Saul said, we must protect you. I tell you what, I'm going to give you this armor. And he handed David this armor and this sword and shield. And David was so small that the armor didn't fit him. The armor was way too big for him. And David said, I'm not even going to be able to move in this armor, so I can't use this armor. And King Saul said, no, it'll protect you. And David said, no, listen, I don't need to worry about this armor. I'm going to be able to deal with that big scary Goliath. I can deal with this big scary situation, and I will help. I want to do whatever I can to help. And so then you can see he gave all of the stuff back to King Saul and said, look, you keep all of this stuff. I'll just go, and I just need my one thing. Now I said David was a shepherd, and part of his job was to look after the sheep and protect them from anything that comes near them. And the way David did that is he had this little sling. And he would get this sling and he would pick up these little stones and put them in his sling, and he would spin it round and round and round and launch the stones over towards the lions or the tigers or whatever came to attack the sheep, and he would keep them safe and protect them. And so David said, look, I am really good at being a shepherd and protecting my sheep. I can help you protect your people. Just let me do it and I will do it. Meanwhile, Goliath was stood here and he was screaming and shouting at the Israelite army still. I've got to get up on my podium. None of you can get me. I'm Goliath. I'm a big scary soldier. You can't get me. You can't get me. I'm going to get you all. And they were getting really worried. And more and more of the Israelite army were running away from Goliath and his Philistine army. And so David said, I really want to help King Saul. I'm going to do it. And so what David did, he took the sling that he usually uses when he's being a shepherd. And he took it and he went down to find some small little stones that he could put in his sling. And he went back, and King Saul was saying to him, David, I really am worried about you. I don't want you to do this. I'm really worried you're going to get hurt. I don't want you to help in any way. And David said, look, King Saul, I can help because God's going to protect me. I'll be okay. I'll be fine. And off he went. He picked up his stones and he went back to the front line, and he loaded up his sling with these little stones. He picked up 5 smooth little pebbles, and as he went, he started to walk back to Goliath, and he started to go quite quickly towards Goliath. And as he did, he started swinging his sling round and 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 round, really fast. And all of a sudden, with this big, gigantic leap, you can see Goliath stood there. David hurled this stone as hard as he could over towards Goliath's head. And Goliath, the big, scary, giant soldier, was stood there. And bearing in mind, most of the Israelite army by this point had run away because they were so scared and petrified. And David launched this stone up with his sling. You can see him there. Look how small he is compared to Goliath. But he launches this stone up and swings his sling round and round and round and round, and it flies up. You can see the stone, and it smacks Goliath right on the head. Goliath is stood there, and the stone comes whizzing up, and doosh, and he sort of rocks back and forth for a little bit, and then eventually he falls down to the ground and down on the floor, and he is out. And everybody cheers because Goliath, the big scary monster, has been defeated. The big scary giant soldier has been defeated, and David has managed to save them. And you can see there, the army were absolutely shocked. They were absolutely shocked that little David, he had wanted to help and he'd been able to help, and had helped King Saul and the Israelites defeat this big scary situation. And they all cheered. And in fact, do you know what? Because of that big scary time that was going on, the Israelites had started to work more closely together. Some had run away, but others were starting to help each other. And others were starting to work together to try to defeat the big evil Goliath and work against him. And you can see how happy they were when the situation had changed. When David had defeated the big scary Goliath, they were so happy, they were smiling, they were cheerful, they were talking with each other, they were hugging each other, and they were just so pleased to be with each other without the big scary situation. And you can see there, they also loved David. You can see them cheering and partying and being happy again. And as I love that story, because there are a few things that are really great to think about. The first thing is that we've got a bit of a scary situation now around us, haven't we? And some people are a little bit nervous and worried about what will happen. And in the story, I said that the army who were working with King Saul and David and the Israelites, some of them started to run away. Well, I just want to say that I've seen a gigantic army of people here. In the UK, I'm talking doctors, nurses, teachers, people who work in different industries that are helping the situation, engineers who are helping to make all sorts of equipment to help people. And so in the story, the army that was there, they all ran away. But I've seen in our situation so many people on our army who are fighting the scary situation that we're dealing with and doing a brilliant job of it. So that's the first thing, is that in the story the army ran away and didn't want to fight, but we've got some brilliant, brave people who are doing everything they can to fight the situation that we've got at the moment. The next thing I wanted to say is David. He was the smallest person in his family. He was really young and small. And maybe sometimes you're feeling, I don't really know what I can do to help. And of course, we can't send you out and about to help, but there may be things you can do at home which will help your family and your parents. Maybe it's just that you're being really polite. Maybe it's just that you're being really happy and positive when other people are a bit worried, and you're cheering people up. And I know you're really good at cheering people up, because I sometimes walk down the corridor after a long day here, and children, they just come out and you always cheer me up. So you are really good at cheering people up. And so that could be something that you're doing to help at the moment. Maybe you've just tidied your bedroom really well, or maybe you're working really hard on your home learning, and all of those things are going to help the whole country as we move forward together in the situation that we're in. The next thing is that when David picked up his families, I pray for the teachers and the wonderful staff, I pray for the doctors and the nurses, that everybody is going to be safe and looked after. Just so we can make sure we're not interrupted. The final thing is that after the scary situation was all over, everybody partied. Everybody was so happy. Everybody was closer together. And that's really important. And do you know, children, when we return to this school, when we reopen and all of the children and families and parents come back, we will have such a brilliant, gigantic party. Me as I just stopped the live stream from being interrupted. I'm really excited for what's coming, but some of you are in year 6 and you're thinking, well, this is my last year in primary school. I wasn't really sure what was going to happen going onwards. Let me tell you, we will be there with you. We'll make sure we come up to the comprehensive school on those first days, and we'll support you and look after you as you move to the comprehensive school. But also, we will invite you back for some sort of special leavers party to make sure that we see you and wish you all the best as you move on to your new school. But you mustn't think about that yet, because we've still got lots of time together, and it may be virtually, or we may get back together at some point soon. But actually, it's wonderful that we can still celebrate when this bad situation is over and finished. And I hope you're doing all right. I hope you're staying positive. And if there's anything as a school we can do to help you, then you can get in touch with us. You can send us an email or a Facebook message or a tweet, whatever it is that you want help with. We are more than happy to help in any way we possibly can, because I know there are some really difficult situations going on at the moment, and everybody's doing the best they can to cope. Lovely to talk to you. Thank you for joining us on this Star Pupil Assembly this morning. We'll do another one each week. I'm not sure whether we'll have one next week because it's the Easter break, and I have said to all the teachers over Easter, we won't be setting home learning tasks. We just want you to enjoy spending time with your families, and I want my staff as well to have a bit of a break and spend some time with their family. And then after Easter, we'll get in touch with you all again. The teachers have still been ringing round. If you haven't had a phone call yet from your class teacher, they will be in touch by the end of today, I'm sure. And they will also be ringing, hopefully, every other week going forward after the Easter holidays. Lovely to see you, lovely to talk to you. It's been so strange without children in front of me in the hall. I'm talking to just an empty room, but it's still been lovely to do our Star Pupil Assembly. We will get these certificates to you. I hope you're doing really, really well. We miss you, we love you tremendously, and speak to you soon, hopefully. Take care, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Goodbye, nice to see you all, and have you join.